I never thought I'd be the woman crying in a mall parking lot at 9 a.m. before a shift. But that's what my life became. Not because I was lazy, not because I didn't try, not because I didn't believe in myself enough. It happened because I trusted the wrong person with the wrong kind of love. My ex-husband sold his company for $10 million and kept every single cent. Now I'm working part-time at Nordstrom, smiling at customers while my stomach twists knowing the life I helped build was taken from me like I never mattered. Before I start, if you like real stories about marriage, money, and the lessons people learn too late, subscribe. These stories aren't just drama, they're warnings. I met my ex-husband when I was 26. He was ambitious, charming, and full of big plans. He talked about business like it was oxygen. Even on date nights, he'd be explaining ideas, markets, strategies. I admired him. It was attractive to see someone so driven. He wasn't rich back then, not even close. He had a small startup, a tiny office, a few employees, and a dream. When he asked me to marry him, he promised we'd build something together. He said, "One day we'll look back and laugh at how hard it was." And I believed him. The early years were not glamorous. I was working full-time, sometimes 2 jobs. I paid bills when his company couldn't. I covered groceries, rent, insurance. I was the stable one while he chased growth. People love to romanticize that part. They say ride or die. But what they don't tell you is how exhausting it is to be the person holding everything together while your partner takes risks with your future. Still, I did it. I believed in him. I helped in ways most people don't even count. I reviewed his emails when he was too tired. I listened to his investor pitches at midnight. I attended networking events with a smile even when I wanted to sleep. I gave him emotional support when deals fell apart. I encouraged him when he wanted to quit. I wasn't on the paperwork, but I was in the foundation. Then the company grew. Not overnight, but year by year, he started hearing more people. He got better clients, bigger meetings, business trips, and slowly his ambition turned into ego. He became less present at home, less grateful, more entitled. When I would ask for time together, he'd say, "This is temporary, I'm building our future." That line kept me quiet for years. But then I started noticing something else. He began separating our life from his business life. He'd say things like, "You wouldn't understand this side," or "This is too complicated." He'd keep financial details vague. I'd ask about numbers and he'd respond like I was being nosy. I wasn't nosy. I was his wife. We had no kids, but we had shared sacrifices. I assumed I was protected. I assumed marriage meant partnership. That's where I made my biggest mistake. We didn't have a prenup. But we also didn't have clear agreements about what would happen if his company ever hit big. The business was in his name, the shares were in his name, the documents were in his name. And because I loved him, I didn't question it enough. Then the emotional distance became impossible to ignore. He stopped talking to me about his dreams and started talking at me like I was a helper. When I expressed concerns, he called me ungrateful. When I cried, he said I was adding stress. Then came the divorce. It wasn't sudden, it was death by 1,000 cuts. One day, I looked at our marriage and realized I felt alone even when he was sitting right next to me. We tried counseling briefly. He treated it like a meeting he didn't want to attend. He showed up physically but not emotionally. Eventually, he said he needed freedom and he was not happy. The divorce process was colder than I expected. He didn't fight over furniture, he didn't fight over cars, he didn't argue about small things. He fought over the company. I assumed because we were married while he built it, I'd get some share, or at least a settlement that reflected my contribution. He acted shocked that I even asked. He said, "It's my company, I built it." Like I hadn't helped keep him alive through the hardest years. Like I wasn't part of the story. My lawyer tried, but it wasn't simple. The business had layers, valuation arguments, hidden structures, legal protections I didn't understand until it was too late, and because I didn't have the money to drag it into a long war, I had to accept what I got. A small settlement. Not life-changing. Not future-proof. Just enough to start over. I walked away devastated, but I told myself at least I was free, at least I had my dignity, at least I had a chance to rebuild. Then a year later, I saw the headlines. My ex-husband's company sold. $10 million. I sat in my apartment, reading the article over and over, feeling like my chest was collapsing. 10 million. And I got nothing from that sale. Nothing. I texted him not to beg, not to flirt, just one sentence. I saw the news. He replied hours later. Yeah, big day. That's it. No gratitude, no guilt, no acknowledgement that I was once his ride or die. That was the moment I realized something painful. He didn't just divorce me. He erased me. The next week, I applied for part-time work at Nordstrom because my bills didn't care about my heartbreak. Rent doesn't pause because your ex got rich. So I showed up, I smiled, I folded clothes, I helped strangers find the right sizes while thinking about how my life could have looked if I had protected myself. Sometimes customers ask me, "Do you like working here?" And I say yes because what else can I say? I can't tell them I'm here because I helped build a millionaire's life and walked away with crumbs. What hurts the most isn't that he has money. It's that I was treated like I deserved none of it. Like love was enough payment. Here's the lesson I learned the hard way. Love is not a legal contract. Sacrifice is not protection. And being supportive doesn't guarantee security. If you're married to an entrepreneur or anyone building something big, protect yourself, ask questions, get agreements, understand finances, put your name on things that reflect your contribution. Because if the relationship ends, love won't matter in court, paper matters, proof matters. I'm rebuilding now, slowly humbling myself, learning how to stand again, learning that being ride or die doesn't mean being foolish. One day I'll be okay. But I'll never forget what $10 million taught me. Sometimes the biggest betrayal isn't cheating. It's letting you help build the castle, then locking you out once it's finished.